In one of his many discussions with the religious leaders of his day, this particular one recorded in John chapter 8, Jesus was pressed concerning his identity. Now, his answer to their question could not have been more shocking. He simply said this: "Before Abraham existed, I am." Now, the crowd knew immediately what Jesus had just claimed. And because they were not ready to accept that claim, they grabbed for rocks in order to stone him. But Jesus just slipped quietly away. What was it about those two words, "I am," that so aggravated the crowd? Well, that wasn't the first time those two words had been spoken. In a memorable encounter almost 1,500 years prior to that, Moses was tending sheep when he saw a bush that was on fire. But this was no ordinary fire, for the bush was burning but was not being consumed. As he started to approach the bush, a voice called him, beckoning him to come closer, but to do so without his shoes on, for the ground on which he was standing was holy ground. The voice then revealed to Moses who the speaker was. It was the God of Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. God there called Moses to be the one who would return to Egypt and free his people from 400 years of slavery. But when Moses asked for God's name, all he heard was this: "I am who I am." The revelation of God as the great I am still resounds every time the name Jehovah or Yahweh is sounded, for it is simply the Hebrew verb that means I am or I exist. So when Jesus said, "I am," he was directly claiming to be God, the one who spoke to Moses and the one who is continuing to speak to the people of God. That is why the crowd wanted to stone him. He had claimed to be God, the great I am. People from that point on have struggled to understand the identity of Jesus. For people to grasp him more clearly, Jesus used the phrase "I am" 7 times in the Gospel of John. And in each one of those snapshots, he allows us to understand him more fully, to love him more deeply, that we might serve him more completely. So for the next few weeks, we'll be looking at these portraits in the Gospel of John. So I'm going to invite you to turn with me right now to John chapter 6, and we'll begin our study with the very first of the 7 great I Ams.